Welcome to Trends on Thursdays, where I tell you about the trends I discussed with my clients this week. This week I'll talk about packaging, emails, data breaches, and 5G. First up, there's a space where marketing and experience meet and, well, magic happens. Especially when it comes to e-commerce, a big part of the experience starts when the UPS man arrives with your package. This can be either go really well or really not. Amazon's been pushing for sioc packaging, meaning ships in own container. This can take several different shapes. For example, Tide came up with a self-ship container not too long ago, making it much more economical and environmentally friendly to ship detergent. Some products, like a bag of dog food, for example, isn't as easily turned into a box, but Hill's Pet Nutrition has come up with a better way to ship that bag, make it fit snug, and even give the box handles to make it easier to pick it up. They call that frustration-free packaging, and first of all, I love the term. From a brand perspective, everything should be frustration-free. Packaging is also often a missed opportunity. If you have a dog, BarkBox is a great example of a packaging experience that's designed from box to packing to inserts. The BarkBox is clearly marked when it comes in the mail, and it's an experience to unpack it for dog and human alike. How awesome would it be if everything I order, from clothes to maybe a king cake from Mardi Gras, would be an experience unpacking? Next up, marketing emails can be super effective if you're doing them right. The difference between spam and a valuable email that's being opened is often the perception of the value contained within. Not surprisingly then, the three most effective subject lines to get recipients to open those emails are newsletter, PDF, and ebook. All three of those tell me that there's something in it for me if I open the email, and accordingly, open rates hover around 30%. Also, less is more when it comes to send frequency. Weekly communications are much more likely to be opened than daily ones, for example. And if you really need to go there and do a sale, those emails are much more likely to be opened within the first hour. After that, people feel like they're past the point of hot off the press. Highest open rates of emails are basically requested, like sign-up confirmations and the like, with an open rate of almost 90%. Emails as means of communications isn't dead, far from it. Marketers are often guilty of trying to shortcut and not warming the audience, and that's why email marketing is often frowned upon. The one thing that makes the biggest difference in any of our A/B testing are the words. From subject line to headline to text, copywriting skills are invaluable. Next, data breaches are becoming more commonplace, and both the number of breaches and the number of records exposed are up more than 50% year over the year in the first 6 months of 2019. Over 3,800 breaches and 3 billion records have been exposed this year before we headed off to a long 4th of July weekend. And not all of that came from Facebook, by the way. For businesses, this means two things. Number one, security is more important than ever. Strong password policies, strong usernames, they all matter, because passwords like QWERTY, password, literally password, the word, 12345 are still to be found everywhere in corporate America. Number two, and this one is just important, handling sensitive customer information, including email and password combinations, password hints, phone numbers, and addresses, is more important than ever. You can't afford to lose your customers' trust if you're not Facebook, and you probably can't afford the fallout and cost associated with a breach. Customers have been known to be able to recover cost of fixing their credit, cleaning up the mess, and much more. So no matter what kind of customer info you're storing, you need regular security audits and solid encryption. Now, one more, 5G self-service is coming on strong and already being deployed in major cities. What comes with it is a major business opportunity. Now, it takes hundreds of these 5G transmitters to replace one 4G tower, but for one, 5G transmitters are much smaller and basically can be deployed on utility poles, where a cell tower is, well, a tower. There's a cost associated with deploying them, but that also means that utility companies and municipalities that already own the poles may get in on the game. The other opportunity lies in the fast connection that allow for AR and VR applications and for things from vehicles to smartwatches to medical devices to constantly communicate with each other, be aware of each other's relative position, and so on. A world much more connected and possibly full of promise for applications we may not even have thought of. And that's it for your Trends on Thursdays. I'll be back Monday with my thought starter. Until then, I'm Tobias Wilhelm.